Hey, what's up everyone? So, have you ever opened a live chat on a website, watched stock prices update in real time, or played a multiplayer browser game and wondered, how does this thing update so fast without me refreshing the page? Like, how does the server know to push new data to you instantly? Well, today we're answering exactly that. We're going to break down WebSockets, what they are, why they exist, and how they actually work. Trust me, by the end of this, networking will make a whole lot more sense. Let's go. Before we can understand WebSockets, we need to quickly recap how the web normally works, and that's through HTTP. Every time you visit a website or click a link, your browser sends an HTTP request to a server. The server gets that request, processes it, sends back a response, and then boom, the connection is closed. That's it. Done. This is called a request-response model. Your browser asks, the server answers, the conversation ends. It's kind of like sending a letter in the mail. You write it, send it, wait for a reply, and the conversation is over once you get that reply. Simple, right? But here's the thing. This model has a pretty serious limitation when it comes to real-time apps. So imagine you're building a live chat app using plain old HTTP. The problem is, the server can't just push a message to your browser whenever someone sends you a chat. Your browser has to keep asking the server, hey, any new messages? The server says no. Browser asks again. Server says no. Browser asks again, and this time the server finally says yes. This is called polling, and it is extremely inefficient. You're hammering the server with requests every second or two just to check if anything changed. It wastes bandwidth, wastes server resources, and it's still not truly real time. There's always a tiny delay. Developers tried tricks like long polling to work around this, where the browser sends a request and the server just holds the connection open until it has something to say, but even that is kind of a hack. There had to be a better way. And that better way? That's WebSockets. WebSocket is a communication protocol that provides a full-duplex, persistent connection between a client and a server over a single TCP connection. Okay, I know that sounds like a mouthful, so let's break it down. Full duplex means both the client and the server can send messages to each other at the same time, independently, no waiting for the other side to finish. Persistent means the connection stays open. It doesn't close after every request like HTTP does. And it runs over TCP, which is the same reliable transport layer the internet uses for most of its traffic. So in short, WebSocket opens a door between your browser and the server, and that door stays open, letting both sides talk to each other freely at any time with very low overhead. Let's do a quick side-by-side comparison so this really clicks. With HTTP, every interaction requires a new request from the client. The server can't reach out on its own. The connection is stateless and closed after each response. Headers are sent with every single request, which adds overhead. Now with WebSocket, after the initial handshake, the connection stays open permanently. Either side, client or server, can send data at any time. There's almost no overhead on subsequent messages compared to HTTP, and it's much faster for real-time communication. Think of HTTP as a phone call where you hang up after every sentence and then dial back to say the next sentence. WebSocket is like staying on the call the entire time. Way more natural, way more efficient. All right, now let's get into the fun part. How does a WebSocket connection actually get established? It all starts with something called the WebSocket Handshake. And here's the cool thing. It actually begins as a regular HTTP request. Your browser sends an HTTP GET request to the server, but with a special header that says, hey, I want to upgrade this connection to a WebSocket. The key headers involved are connection upgrade, which says we want to change protocols, upgrade WebSocket, which specifies we want WebSocket specifically, and a special key called sec WebSocket key, which is a randomly generated base 64 encoded value. Think of this as your browser knocking on the server's door and saying, hey, let's switch to a better way of talking. So the browser sends that upgrade request. Now, what does the server do?
If the server supports WebSockets, it sends back an HTTP 101 response. 101 means switching protocols. The response includes upgrade WebSocket, confirming the upgrade, and a sec WebSocket accept header, which is a hash of the key the client sent, combined with a special magic string. This is basically the server saying, "Yup, got your knock. I understand WebSocket, and here's proof. Let's switch." Once the server sends back that 101 response, the HTTP handshake is complete. From this point forward, the TCP connection that was used for HTTP is now repurposed as a WebSocket connection. HTTP is done. WebSocket takes over. The upgrade is complete.
Now that the connection is established, how does data actually travel over it? Unlike HTTP, which sends full headers with every message, WebSocket uses a lightweight format called frames. A WebSocket frame is a tiny packet of data. Each frame has an opcode, which tells you what type of data this is, like text, binary, or a control message, a payload length field, and the actual data payload. The beauty of frames is they're incredibly small and efficient. After the handshake, you're not sending HTTP headers over and over, just lean frames. Text messages, binary data, ping-pong keep-alive messages, all of these travel as frames over the same open connection. It's like sending postcards through a private tube, fast, lightweight, and no envelope overhead. One quick thing you should know. WebSocket uses its own URL scheme. Instead of HTTP or HTTPS, WebSocket uses WS for unencrypted connections and WSSS for encrypted ones. So a WebSocket URL looks something like ws://example.com/chat, or the secure version, WSSS://example.com/chat. WSSS is WebSocket secure. It runs over TLS encryption, just like HTTPS. And just like you'd always prefer HTTPS over HTTP on the web, you should always use WSSS in production to protect your data. The port numbers are the same too. WS uses port 80 by default, and WSSS uses port 443, the same as HTTP and HTTPS. This makes WebSockets play nicely with existing firewall and proxy configurations. Let's look at how you'd actually use WebSocket in JavaScript, because it's surprisingly simple. You start by creating a new WebSocket object with your server's WebSocket URL. Then you listen for 4 key events. First, on open, this fires when the connection is successfully established. Then on message, this fires every time the server sends data to you. You'll receive the data in the event's data property. Then on error, if something goes wrong. And finally, on close, when the connection is closed, either by you or the server. To send data to the server, you just call socket.send with your message. That's it. 4 events and 1 method, and you have a full real-time bi-directional communication channel. It genuinely doesn't get much cleaner than this. Okay, so now you know the theory, but where is WebSocket actually used in the real world? Honestly, everywhere you see real-time data. Live chat apps like Slack or Discord use WebSocket to deliver messages to you instantly without any refresh. Financial trading platforms use it to stream live stock prices and order book updates. Multiplayer online games use it to synchronize player positions and game state in real time. Milliseconds matter there. Collaborative tools like Google Docs use WebSocket so multiple users can edit the same document simultaneously and see each other's changes live. Sports apps use it to push live scores as they happen. IoT dashboards use it to show live sensor data. Basically, if something needs to update on your screen without you doing anything, there's a very good chance WebSocket is involved. Now, you might be wondering, are there other ways to do real-time stuff on the web? Yes. Let's quickly compare WebSocket with 2 alternatives. Long polling. The client sends a request, the server holds it open until it has data, then responds, and the client immediately sends another request. It simulates real-time, but it's still HTTP under the hood, less efficient and higher latency. server-sent events, or SSE, the server can push data to the client over a persistent HTTP connection, but only one way. The client can't send data back through that same connection. It's great for things like news feeds or live notifications. WebSocket, on the other hand, two-way, low overhead, truly real-time. It's the most powerful option when you need bidirectional communication. SSE is simpler for one-way use cases. Long polling is a last resort. Pick the right tool for the job. WebSocket is awesome, but it's not perfect. Let's be honest about the limitations. First, scalability. Because connections are persistent, each connected client holds an open connection on the server. If you have millions of users, managing all those open connections is a serious engineering challenge. You need horizontal scaling with load balancers that support sticky sessions or a pub subsystem. Second, some older proxies and firewalls can struggle with WebSocket connections since they look a bit different from standard HTTP. Third, there's no built-in message queuing. If a client disconnects and reconnects, any messages sent during the outage are lost unless you build that logic yourself. Fourth, state management. Since the connection is persistent, the server has to manage connection state, which adds complexity. None of these are deal breakers, they're just things you need to architect around in production systems. Now, in practice, you rarely write raw WebSocket code from scratch, especially on the server side. There are fantastic libraries and frameworks that handle all the complexity for you. On the JavaScript and Node.js side, Socket.io is probably the most popular. It wraps WebSocket and adds useful features like automatic reconnection, rooms, namespaces, and fallback to long polling if WebSocket is not available. There's also the WS library for Node.js, which is a clean, lightweight WebSocket implementation. On the Python side, you've got libraries like WebSockets and channels for Django. For Java, there's Netty and Spring WebSocket. And on the cloud side, AWS API Gateway, Azure Web PubSub, and services like Pusher offer fully managed WebSocket infrastructure, so you don't have to deal with the scaling headaches yourself. The ecosystem is massive and mature. Alright, let's wrap this up with a quick recap. HTTP is great for most web traffic, but it's a request-response model that's not designed for real-time, two-way communication. WebSocket solves this by establishing a persistent full-duplex TCP connection through an initial HTTP upgrade handshake. Once connected, both client and server can send data frames at any time with minimal overhead. You use WS and WWS URLs, and the JavaScript API is dead simple, just 4 events and a send method. WebSocket powers live chat, stock feeds, gaming, collaboration tools, and much more. It has some scaling and state challenges, but libraries like Socket.io make the developer experience smooth. And that's it, WebSocket, from zero to hero. If this helped you, make sure to like and subscribe. Drop a comment if you have questions, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.